asked to solve this equation, and when we look at this, what you should immediately see is a factoring problem. And so you look at this and go, oh, well, that's a trinomial. It's just instead of x, I have a cotangent theta. Now, this is not factorable. If this was factorable, I could just factor it normally. But it's not factorable, so I have to get out the quadratic equation. It's just the quadratic equation, rather than giving me x equals something, is going to give me cotangent equals something, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I would do in any problem, and I'm going to plug in the variables, but I'm going to have cotangent theta instead of x out here. So negative b, so negative 3 plus or minus negative 3 squared minus 4ac over 2a. And then I am going to clean up, so I'm going to get 3 plus or minus 9 plus 12 over 6. Okay, let's see where I am right now. So I'm at cotangent theta equals 3 plus or minus square root of 21 over 6. Okay, at this point now I have two answers, right? I have 3 plus the square root of 21 over 6 and 3 minus square root of 21 over 6. Now, I'm going to solve these in as degrees. Again, this would be something, make sure thing, if it tells you 0 to 360, you're going to do it in degrees. So this one would have told you 0 to 360. If it had told you 0 to 2 pi, then you would have solved it in radians. So they're going to tell you which method to, which thing to use. And in this case, I'm using this one. So now what I'm going to do is both of these, remember, is what cotangent equals. So I'm going to get out my calculator, and they want me to find the degrees. So I'm going to use my calculator here. So let's get the calculator out here in a minute. Okay, so my calculator here. I'm going to first start over here, and I'm going to do 3 plus the square root of 21 divided by 6. So this is 1.26, but this is what cotangent equals, right? So what I actually know at this point is cotangent theta equals 1.26. But I need to find the degrees. Well, remember, I can't solve this directly. This is 1 over tangent theta equals 1.26. So then this is tangent theta equals 1 over 1.26. And so what I'm actually going to put into my calculator is I'm going to do the inverse tangent of 1 over, and then I'm going to use the answer button here. Oh, not that. The answer button went up too high. And so this is, oh, I forgot to change my, I said I was going to do degrees, and I forgot. I'm like, why does that make no sense? Okay, let's try this again. So inverse tangent, 1 divided by, and I'll have to type in 1.26, 37.6. And you just do it. So my first answer is 38.4. And they said round to 1 decimal, 1/10. We're going to go to 10th. Okay, but that's only one of them, right? If I am evaluating this between 0 and 360, this is my reference angle. When else is cotangent positive? So cotangent here was positive. That's in the first quadrant, and then it's also in the third quadrant. So I need to add this to 180 and 218.4. This is my second one, 218.4. Those are two of my answers. Now I need to go back and do the same thing for the other one. So I'm going to do 3 minus square root of 21 divided by 6. Okay, so now I'm negative, okay, negative 0.26, but I'm going to find the arc tangent of 1 over this answer. Okay, now negative 75, that isn't in my thing. So I'm going to add 360. Okay, 284.8. This is one of my answers, 284.8. This is one of my answers. I need to find the other one. So I'm going to go, okay, well, what's the reference angle? So I'm going to do 360 minus this. There was other ways to find it. It was my 75 here. So I could have done it that way. Then my question is okay, what is the other quadrant that cotangent is negative? Well, that's the second. So in this case, I'm going to do 180 minus my 75, and I get 104.8. So that is my other answer. So I have four answers. Those two and these two. Those are my four answers, and that's how I get them, both using the calculator as well as, the work I had to do by hand, because of course how we put this into the calculator is not as straightforward as when we were just putting in trig functions.